Hey everybody, Ray Hayden here, and this video is going to be part of the law study series. I've taken the California bar exam in February of 2018, right after I graduated in December of 2017 or January 2018. But very quickly after that, I sat for the California bar exam knowing I was going to fail. I did. And then the idea though was to try to get a good understanding of what's going on so that the next time I sat for it, I would be better prepared for it. My score went up, but it was still dismally low. So I needed to, if you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, you're going to be unpleasantly surprised when you still get bad results. So what I had done is I went ahead and went with the BarBri Law Study Program. Personally, I kind of feel like a loser for doing that in the first place because I really wanted to bang this thing home. I think that it's something that can be done without a prep program. I know a number of people who have successfully passed the California bar exam without a prep program. I think that it can be done, but the problem is I need something that can really pack it into a very tight package and get it, get me to where I need to be in a very short period of time. So I decided to go with the BarBri program. I'm pointing at a computer screen you can't see, but I'm already working on the early start program, and it is just before, it's about a week before, today is Thursday, it is 1 week before Thanksgiving in 2019. The program for the February 2020 bar exam starts on the 5th of December. Let's open this baby up and see what we got in the box. This is the unboxing video for the BarBri program. I live in the state of Florida. I'm taking the California bar exam. If you're really interested in why, we can chat about it. But talk about that later in other videos. This is just the unboxing of the materials. And let's see what we got. First things first is we got the California BarBri Review checklist of materials and material return form. I have to actually look at this in more detail because I've seen this a number of times where people have they can return books. So you can return the books, and I don't know what that's all about. Quite frankly, I've never seen, to resell your law books back to the bookstore or whatever is a losing proposition. Buying the books in the first place is a massively losing proposition because law books cost a fortune and you get nothing back for them. So when I was in actual law study, I didn't buy any books after the second year. And I had to do 4 years because I had a part-time program. All right, so the first thing is a simulated bar Scantron is enclosed. Not sure how this works, but I know that to do an MBE, that's a multi-state bar examination, a multiple choice, multiple guess, whatever. Hopefully it's not going to be a multiple guess for me this time, and hopefully it'll be, I felt pretty good last time. But in this package, firmly stuck within the envelope is a Scantron sheet. And it does sort of kind of look like the real deal, and but not really. And I imagine I mail this into BarBri. Again, I'll have to look at the fine details of that, and I'll let you know how that goes later on. But they want to simulate the real 200 question day, 100 questions in the morning, 100 questions in the afternoon, see how you do on it, this, that, and the other thing. And that's all fine and dandy, but I have no problem sitting for the 200 question multiple choice, MBE. I feel no stress. I feel no aggravation, frustration, or irritation in any way, but apparently I'm not scoring high enough. So I would like to correct that. Now this is a quick start guide into the program. Check the contents, sign on to barbri.com, do the early, check on early and often. I'm already working on the program. As a matter of fact, I have a lecture on contracts sitting open right now, and I paused it. Contracts is not a weak point for me. I'm pretty good on contracts. So, but I would like to be better. It's a good story because I had to take the first year law students examination, which is torts, contracts, and criminal law. So torts, contracts, and criminal law, I should be hitting grand slams on anyway. But the problem is I need to be better. So I hit grand slams. I want to hit grand slams and win the World Series too, right? Number 3, start your personal study plan. I've already started. I plan on doing 100% of the entire program. There's no reason for me not to. Active adaptive legal learning. I've already experienced this in our QuickStart guide. They do have some interesting technology aspects of this program that I like very, very much. I'm very happy with that. So let's see what we got here. We got, these might be used. These might be books that somebody returned or whatever. I'll just kind of look through and see if I see any pencil marks or anything in there. But anyways, they have outlines for California. Now, I'm not sure exactly what this is. I'll have to look at it. But let's just go through the books that they have here for us. These kind of look like they've been manhandled a bit. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe somebody treated them real nice and returned them. I don't know. This is the mini size of that book. This says Mini Convisor, the Convisor Mini Review for California. Convisor Mini Review for California. Now, I don't know anything about BarBri or anything quite yet, but except for it's like the main course that's out there for studying for bar exams. But this thing here is the thing that I always thought was like, this is the thing you need to master. But, 8 weeks, I don't think I'm going to master this whole book in 8 weeks. So hopefully I will master everything that is on the bar exam and I'll get lucky with that. But this is the book that I thought was like the thing you had to absolutely positively have. All right, so there's another thin book for you. This is Essay Testing for California, July 2019, February 2020. All right. Again, I'll have to look through that and see what that's all about. So there's 3 books so far. This says Outlines for the Multi-State. Now, Outlines for the Multi-State are outlines for the MBE. The Multi-State is the Multi-State Bar Exam for California. That's the multiple choice questions. Just want to look real quick. All right, they're pretty good. So that's a pretty good book there. And then they have the Simulated MBE book. All right, so this is pretty interesting. This is exactly what the MBE looks like. I mean, these are not exactly MBE questions because nobody's got them until exam day, right? But there's a question, fact pattern. They'll have a call to the question. They say, hey, you just read that, now answer this. And then there's the ABCD, that's the options, all right? So the fact pattern, call it a question is, hey, tell us something, and then the options are what you're telling them. And hopefully you get it right. Some questions are pretty long, some questions are shorter, all right? On the real deal, that's what I'm telling you, I've taken this thing twice, that's the real deal. Some of the MBE questions, you might have 3 questions on one page, you might have 1, or you might have 2. So you have 1, 2, or 3 questions on one page. All right. I don't think they should not ever do this. And I don't think the real MBE does. I honestly don't remember at this point, but they should never go. You should never have to turn a page. You should never. That would be the stupidest thing of any testing organization ever if they make you turn the stupid page. What? You couldn't have left a blank spot and made it, so it's all on one page? Make it all on one page. So even the practice ones, I've seen practice stuff where they'll have a question, you got to turn the page to see the rest of it. What are you doing? Come on. Pay a couple extra pennies and put some blank space in there. It's ridiculous. Now this says a California Performance Test. This book is joyfully thin, okay? The California Performance Test is worth 2 essays. So you got 5 essays and 1 performance test. That's 7 grades you're going to get. You're going to get 1 grade for the performance test, but it counts as 2. So if you get a 50, it counts as 100, but across two like essays, right? So the performance test is probably like the best, sweetest deal. You better write it out really, really well because everything you need to answer that question is in front of you. They give you the instructions. They give you a fact file, right? And a law library. Fact file, law library. Then they give you instructions and you basically have to produce a document like an attorney would, right? A brand new attorney, newly minted attorney. You have to produce a document. I love the performance tests. I haven't done well enough on them yet, but I really love them. It's like a game, okay? To me, it's like a game, and I really enjoy them. I wish I'd do a whole lot better with them. So I'm really happy to see that this book is not quite so ginormous, right? That'd be great. Lecture handouts. Okay, these are huge, right? Now, I'm not going to be able to go to any lectures because I'm in Florida doing the California bar exam. So thankfully, BarBri has an online program for me to do. All right, and but so I'll have to maybe like follow along in these pages while I go through lectures. In the QuickStart guide and a QuickStart application that's on the internet, that's online, everybody can do it. If they sign up, you're immediately in there. And the thing with I keep looking at a computer you can't see, but in the QuickStart program or the QuickStart course for BarBri, all of the lectures aren't there in the early good to go thing. There are additional lectures, but you have to go find them. They're in the 2L, 3L immersion or something like that. It's something you have to actually go look at your courses, and then you'll see the 2L, 3L is probably highlighted like it's a course you can take, and then you just click on it and you'll see all the lectures, all this kind of practice material, all this stuff is in there, but it's in the 2L, 3L thing. But to me, that's for stuff if you're in law school. It's not really for bar prep, but it can help you. In my opinion, it would probably help you. And then the last book we have are MBE practice questions, all right? So I believe that they would have the MBE practice exam, and that would be the deal that you fill out that, you go ahead and use that practice Scantron sheet and fill it in. You play like you're playing a game for real. And then, but these are like MBE practice questions, and I don't think, I can tell you right now, guarantee absolutely rock solid. Question 3 and question 4 have ABC. ABC. There's no question on the MBE exam that's only 3 options. You always have, and that's it in the box. You always have 4 options, A, B, C, and D, because they want to give you a 25% chance of getting it right or a 75% chance of getting it wrong. Okay, so that's the MBE, which is the multi-state bar exam with the National Committee of Bar Examiners. Great bunch of people, just love them to pieces. All right, so I get some jokes about that later. So the California Performance Test book, this is it, the simulated MBE thing, which has these, the Scantron sheet. I imagine these go together, and you mail this back in. It says, do not return Scantron by regular mail. It says it right there on the package. Don't return this by regular mail. I don't know if I would FedEx the thing to them or what, or if I just can take this and transfer it to a electronic thing. I'll find out when I get there. I'll make an update on that later. But the simulated MBE, I imagine this is the booklet, and of course it would be like half the size because you'd have an AM and a PM session. I always want to see something real quick here. Yeah, okay, they do. Okay. On the multi-state bar exam, if you haven't taken a bar exam yet and you don't know what it's all about and everything else, in a multi-state bar exam, like you're in law school and you're freaking out about this test you got to take, if you're going to California, you've got a really low pass rate. So here's the deal. The first questions in the morning are 1 through 100. So 1 through 100. You got 100 questions, right? In the afternoon, you got to wrap your brain around this. It's not something that's really overly confusing, but the questions go 101 to 200, all right? So you got 101 to 200 in the afternoon. 1 through 100 in the morning, 101 to 200 in the afternoon. When I first saw that thing, I was like, what? That's kind of goofy. It's weird. So, it was kind of like made me, sit back a second and try to pay attention a little bit more. All right, so simulated bar exam, outlines, these are good. Essay testing for California. BarBri says in their materials that the best opportunity to pick up your points is probably on the essay, on the written side, right? So if you do everything right, I can't talk about BarBri's ideas and theories and stuff like that. That's proprietary, copyrighted stuff and everything else, so I won't do that. But generally they say, anybody can find that information online. It's the general sales pitch information. It's, free information for anybody. Basically, and it's a general idea too, that you can pick up your scores better on the essays, a greater extent. So if you're getting 50s, right, it's better. You have a better shot at getting your score up to 70 on the essay exam, on a written exam, than you do getting a perfect score on the MBE, right? So if you score on the MBE and you get 1400, you need 1440 to pass, kind of thing. California, different scores for different states might be a different deal. I'm talking about California. But if you need a 1440 and you're only getting 1200, it's going to be a stretch. It's going to be a big stretch to get up to the 1440 that you need to pass, right? So for folks like me who aren't hitting even 1400 on the MBE, then folks like me need to work really, really hard to do the absolute best we can on the MBE, but really, really focus on nailing every possible thing on the essays that we possibly can to get the best possible boost to our grade as we can. That said, when I first took the bar exam in California in February 2018, I did all the prep I intended on doing for the MBE side of the exam, and I did almost nothing for the written side of the exam, okay? I scored better on the written side of the exam. So the thing I didn't really study for anywhere near where I want for my own purpose to study for, I did better on that part of the day, on the exam than I did on the MBE or the multiple choice questions, right? And it's like the right answer is in front of you. You just got to find it, right? And so that was kind of an eye-opener for me. So I went hardcore MBE prep, but I also spent like 8 months of prep putting together my materials to study for the essay side of the exam, right? When I went into the exam in July of 2019, okay, that's the most recent exam as of the making of this video, but when I went into July of 2019, I saw everything. I saw everything we needed to see. I mean, there was nothing hidden from me when I was reading the essays. I saw every possible thing I could possibly see. The problem that I had is I was very, very poor in how I presented my answer. I presented my answer just horribly, right? So when the graders are examining these things, and I'll give you this much from the California Bar, if I'm grading question number 1, and there's a bunch of us, might be a bunch of people grading question number 1, for example, right? If the essay I'm grading is question number 1, that's the only exam I grade, all right? So if they give me 200 or 300 exams to grade, or 400 or 500, whatever it is, I don't know how many a grader gets, but they probably get a bunch, right? So you get a stack of exams on the exact same information. Imagine that. You got to read the same exact information over and over and over again. It's not going to take you very long to know exactly what a winning answer looks like, right? And a winning answer on a bar exam is a 70 or above. Actually, it's probably 63 or 62 and a half and above. If everybody gets 62 and a half, it's an impossible score to get in California. It's 60 or 65. They're 5-point increments. But on average, if you do well, with the caveat that you do very well on the MBE side of the exam, and you get a 62 and a half on the written exam, on all of them, and a PT too, then you're in the realm of maybe passing. You might be able to pass if you did well on the MBE. If you did really well on the MBE, got a 1460 or 1470, you're in the pass range on the MBE, and you get 65s or 70s on all of your written stuff, you're going to pass. It's going to happen. There's no doubt about it, right? So, well, certainly 70s. If you get 70 across the board, you get a 1490 or 1470 or something like that, which is above passing on the MBE. You're rock solid, guaranteed to pass, right? So, what the problem is being able to make sure that you can get your answers on the written part to look the way they needed to look, right? So for me, I spent like 8 months preparing for July 2019, but what I didn't have is 8 months of memorization of the materials I created, right? So what I need to do is I need to memorize all those rule statements, the elements and stuff like that. That's the stuff I didn't have locked down cold. What I did in there was just a poor presentation of everything I saw. But I guarantee you, I saw everything we needed to see to be able to pass. I just didn't know how to present it well. That's why I signed up with the BarBri program, to see if I could absolutely positively rock solid get that information locked into my head, and using their kind of machine learning program. I kind of hope it's like the military where they go in and they just drill this stuff into our head, and then they give us an exam on it, and boom, it sticks. We are able to put it back out on the paper, get the job done, and move along. And that's really what I'm hoping for. Anyway, that's going to be the unboxing for the BarBri online program. So it's the California bar exam. It's the BarBri program specifically for online, because I'm in the state of Florida and I'm just not going to make that commute to California every day. You can imagine what people in Southern California feel like when they, or anywhere in California, if they have to go jump on the 5. You have to go jump on I-5 and go anywhere in California. Good luck to you, right? In all honesty, I got to tell you, in my driving in California, I've had to go out to the first year law students examination. I had to do that 6 times to pass it, right? Because I finally figured out what was going on. Because there's an 80% failure rate on that exam. So by the 6th time I passed it, and I've been out to California a bunch of times. Anytime I've been out to California, to the California drivers in Southern California, thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure driving with y'all on the highways. I've never had a problem. Traffic is tight. Traffic is rack and pack 'em and stack 'em out there. But I personally, anytime I was driving out there, I've never had a problem driving into traffic in Southern California around LAX out to Pasadena and stuff. I've never had a problem with it. I was very thankful for everybody who was driving around me. Everybody got the job done, and I was able to safely get from point A to point B. However, across the period of time, I've determined there's a better, more effective, efficient, and cost-effective and efficient way of getting travel done because I take the exam in Pasadena. If you have a public transportation system that will get you into the neighborhood, all right, I absolutely, positively, rock solid recommend that you get the hotel at the location. Either be right next to it, at the location, or within certainly no more than walking distance from the exam location, all right? You want to be there, okay? You don't want to depend on public transportation, because I had a buddy of mine who wanted to sit for the first year law student examination, and they had a BART strike in San Francisco, and she couldn't get to the BART to the first year exam, right? She couldn't take it. She couldn't get there, and you're not going to be able to rent a car. The BART thing goes on strike. There is no rental car anywhere. There's no way to get anywhere unless you're going to stick your thumb out and hope that some murderer doesn't give you a ride forever. It wasn't going to happen. If you're going to take the bar exam anywhere, you want to be, if you're traveling in from a distance, right? You want to be right there at the site the day before the exam, the days of the exam, okay? So that's what I have always done. So basically, I fly into LAX, I hop on the bus, I take that out to Union Station, hop on the train, take that out to the test site, and once I get there, I'm locked in until the test is over, hop back on the train, hop back on the bus, get back to the airplane, take the red eye back home. It's a hit and run mission. I get in there, get out, get the job done, and get home, right? Now, the only part of the job I haven't got done home on a California bar exam is hopefully the third time's the charm, get the job done, get all this information, put all these books back over here. These are heavy, heavy books. Boy, that's I don't have to join the gym now. Anyway, so, but get the job done, get all this information locked, stock, and locked into my head, be able to produce it on the exam and the software, get the job done, and be done with it, all right? I'll give you an update on that as time goes on, but that was the unboxing of the materials. There's something that I think that we get. There's one more thing. There's a product called the keys, and I think that, and they're kind of like flashcard kind of things or something like that. I believe it's an application on the computer. I'm pointing at a computer you can't see. But anyway, so I think it's an application that either an application on your cell phone or something like that, or maybe it's an application on a website. Hopefully it's on the website. I hope it's on the internet, because I really don't want to use my cell phone to study for the bar exam, right? So, but I'll let you know. I'll give you an update on that in this law exam, the law study series videos, and I'll let you know how that works. It's called the keys. I know that they produce these things in a physical form, like these books. They actually have these things. I've seen them online. They're actually in a physical form. I would have liked to have those in physical form. I didn't know it was coming in a box myself until it got here. But like I told my wife, Misdemeanor, I figured the law study series would really like that. But anyways, my wife, Misdemeanor, I told her, I said I was really hoping that the keys would be in this package. But if the application is effective and efficient, and I think that it's even better than having them physically in my hands, then that would be a cool thing. So I'll let you know about that too, going on down the road. And with that, that's going to wrap this one up. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video. Do me a favor, drop a comment below. Let me know you came by to say hi. Give me questions, comments, whatever on that. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate the growth on the network. Until I catch you in the next video, take care and be well.